The Kethmori fortress had stood unconquered for 3 centuries, its obsidian walls rising from the crimson plains of Zerion Prime like a monument to alien superiority. Within its depths, the galaxy's most dangerous criminals rotted in cells designed to hold beings from 1,000 different worlds. Each species had their own specialized containment: the crystalline Vorthak in pressure chambers, the gaseous nebulons in magnetic fields, the telepathic Mindari behind psionic dampeners. And then there was Cell Block 7, where they kept the human. Commander Zexthai had always found the human's presence puzzling. Marcus Chen, that was the creature's designation, had been captured after a minor skirmish near the Terran border. Not a war criminal, not a terrorist, just a cargo pilot who had fired on a Kethmori patrol vessel in what the humans called self-defense. By galactic standards, it should have warranted a simple execution. Instead, the High Command had ordered him brought to the fortress. Study the human, they had said. Learn its weaknesses. The Terran species grows too bold. For 8 months, Marcus had sat in his cell, seemingly content to read the data tablets they provided and exercise in the small space allotted to him. He answered questions during interrogations with a maddening mixture of cooperation and defiance. He ate the nutrient paste without complaint. He even helped settle disputes between other prisoners, his strange human empathy bridging gaps between species that had hated each other for millennia. The guards had grown comfortable around him. Too comfortable. Zexthai should have remembered what his instructors had taught him about humans during his military training. They are persistence predators. They do not give up. Ever. The first sign something was wrong came at 0300 hours when the night shift reported that Marcus was missing from his cell. The blast door hung open, its locking mechanism somehow bypassed. The security footage showed nothing. 8 hours of static where there should have been surveillance data. Find him, Zexthai had ordered, his 4 eyes narrowing with irritation. One human cannot hide in a fortress of 10,000 Kethmori. That was 12 hours ago. Now as the first moon of Zerion crested the horizon, Zexthai stood in the fortress's central command center, staring at displays that told an impossible story. Section by section, level by level, the fortress was going dark. Not destroyed. The massive structure remained intact, but emptied. Silent. Sir. His communications officer's voice trembled through her translator. We've lost contact with detention level 5. And level 4 is not responding to hails, added another technician. Zexthai's claws clicked against the metal of his command chair. 7 levels had gone silent. 7 levels of guards, automated defenses, and security checkpoints, all suddenly reporting nothing but empty corridors and abandoned posts. The human had to be responsible, but how? Marcus Chen was one being. No special modifications, no advanced technology, no supernatural abilities that their extensive medical scans had detected. Just a baseline human with slightly above-average intelligence and an annoying tendency to ask philosophical questions during torture sessions. Sir. The communications officer's voice cracked with fear. Level 2 has gone dark. 3 levels remained. 3 levels between the human and the command center, where Zexthai stood with his remaining staff of 47. He could hear some of them whimpering, their confidence in Kethmori's superiority cracking like ice under pressure. Seal all blast doors, Zexthai commanded. Activate the defense turrets. Whatever he's doing, we stop him here. For an hour they waited. The automated defenses showed no movement in the corridors below. Thermal scans revealed nothing. Even the fortress's AI seemed confused, reporting system anomalies but no concrete threats. Then the lights went out. Emergency power kicked in a moment later, bathing the command center in angry red light. And there, standing in the doorway as if he'd simply walked through 10 layers of military-grade security, was Marcus Chen. He looked exactly as he had 8 months ago, unremarkable height, brown hair starting to gray at the temples, wearing the same simple gray prison uniform, no weapons in his hands, no exotic technology, just a human standing calmly in their midst while 47 of the galaxy's most elite soldiers reached for their sidearms. I wouldn't, Marcus said quietly, and something in his voice made them freeze. Zexthai found his voice first. What did you do? How did you... Where are my soldiers? Marcus tilted his head slightly, the gesture almost curious. They're alive, if that's what you're wondering. Unconscious, mostly. A few chose to lock themselves in storage compartments and wait this out, Smart of them. Impossible, Zextai breathed. 10,000 soldiers. Automated defenses. Sealed doors. You made a mistake, Marcus said, stepping further into the room. Several guards tracked him with their weapons, but none fired. You studied human biology, human psychology, even human history. But you never understood what you were looking at. He gestured toward the blank screens around them. You saw a persistence predator and thought it meant we were stubborn. You saw our tool use and thought it made us clever. You saw our social cooperation and thought it made us useful for manual labor. Marcus smiled, and for the first time, Zextai truly understood why so many species feared the humans. But you never grasped the real lesson. Humans aren't dangerous because we're strong or fast or smart. We're dangerous because we're patient, because we adapt, because we learn. The human reached into his pocket and withdrew a small device, a standard data tablet, the same kind they'd been giving him to read for months. 8 months, Commander. 8 months of watching your guards, learning your routines, studying your technology through the educational materials you so graciously provided. 8 months of making friends with other prisoners, each with their own unique skills and knowledge. Zexthai's stomach dropped as understanding dawned. The other prisoners are free, Marcus confirmed. The Mindari taught me to cloud surveillance systems. The Vorthak showed me how to interfere with electronic locks. The Nebulons explained your ventilation systems. And the others? Well, they each contributed something useful. He pocketed the tablet and looked around the room with that same mild curiosity. Did you know that your fortress's entire security network can be accessed from any data terminal, if you know the right access codes? Your guards have been very helpful over the past few months, always eager to show off their knowledge to a harmless human prisoner. The command center fell silent except for the hum of emergency power and the rapid breathing of terrified Kethmori. What do you want? Zextai finally managed. Marcus considered the question. A ship would be nice. Something fast enough to reach neutral space. And maybe a head start before you call for reinforcements. And if we refuse? The human's expression didn't change, but somehow his presence filled the room with an almost tangible sense of danger. Commander, in the past 12 hours I've taken your fortress apart piece by piece without killing a single one of your soldiers. I did this to prove a point, not because I had to. He let that sink in for a moment. Don't make me prove the next point. 20 minutes later, Marcus Chen piloted a sleek Kethemori scout ship into the void, leaving behind a fortress full of soldiers slowly waking up to find their supposedly impregnable prison had been conquered by patience, intelligence, and the terrifyingly human ability to turn any environment into a weapon. In his final transmission to the fortress, Marcus left them with a warning that would echo through Kethmori space for generations. You wanted to study humanity. Congratulations. Class is now in session.